mind, my mind.
You are now tuned into Philly's Morning Joe with your host, Joe Castro. Now, you might not like us, but we know you love us. So grab your cup and get ready to talk some Eagles. Go Birds.
You want Philly food?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is another episode of Philly Morning Joe. We back, man. We back, man. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. We're gonna have a talk today. I'm in a good mood. The Eagles are coming to my house. They coming to my house. I live in Tampa, so y'all know I'm gonna be there. Y'all know I'm gonna go to the game. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see what the Eagles do in Tampa. We've been really good during the regular season, and right now they're gonna drop off our groceries. We've been buying a lot of stuff because there's a storm coming up. So if they knock, hopefully they don't knock. But either way, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what they do against Tampa. Like I said, we've been pretty good against Tampa in the regular season. We've had some slip-ups in the postseason, but we've been good in the regular season. So I'm hoping that we see the same. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. We already got 16 people on the YouTube side alone. So shout out to all y'all. All together, we got over 30 people in the chat. All right, so who we got in here? We got 200s in the building. He says, good morning, Joe, my guy. What's going on? Hewing says, good morning. Good morning. John Monroe, good morning, brother. Looking for Suzuki says, hit that like. Yeah, hit that like. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Let's get into this. We're going to have a good talk. I feel like this could be the turnaround. Now, all right, how do I put this? It wasn't a perfect game. It wasn't a beautiful game, right? It wasn't from start to finish a just dominant game like I've been saying I've wanted to see. But I think this is the type of win that really gets a team going. I really do believe that. You look at the way that we lost last week, right? You look at how we should have won that game. There's no doubt in my mind we should be 3-0 if we take away the self-inflicted wounds, right? If we take away, it's shooting ourselves in the foot, basically, for lack of better terms. If you take that away, we're 3-0, right? You look at last week, you look at how that went. I really, truly believe that the Eagles can take that, utilize that momentum, and move forward. You look at what we have, and I know a lot of people are upset about, Nick Sirianni saying that he's going to be taking over play calling here and there. I don't think that that's a surprise. That wasn't a surprise to me, and I'm not upset about that, if I'm being honest with you. You constantly ask, what does he do? He's constantly telling you what he does. So I don't really know where we are right now. I feel like we're at a standstill with Nick Sirianni until something happens, for better or worse. So we'll see what happens. I think that he's right now the right guy for this job. Dallas Goedert was on Pat McAfee talking about Nick Sirianni and the trust that Nick Sirianni has in his players, and how they love that as players. They love that their coach has that much trust in them, and he said they need to execute better. They do. At the end of the day, the Eagles need to execute better. They are getting put in position defensively. It's been up and down. I will say that. I think sometimes they're out of position, but offensively, for sure, you have been put in position to succeed, and it's your job to go ahead and do it. So we're going to see what happens. I think that look, Antonio Holmes says I'm extremely upset about play calling. Or him calling plays. I'm not. I think that in certain situations, you have to have a guy that goes in there and says, this is what we're going to do, and that's it. Let's go. And just like he said, there's other guys probably in his ear. He said Stoutland. He said, who else was he talking about? Paluto. He was talking about all the coaches. He said all the offensive coaches have input, and he's not the only one in Kellen Moore's ear. So I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. And I think that as the season goes on, I think Kellen Moore will have more data that he can, straight up say to Nick Sirianni, I don't think that that's the right thing to do. And I think that that's where we are right now. There's not enough data for Kellen Moore to really just put his foot in the grass and say, no, this is what we're going to do. This is what makes the most sense. So I think as the season goes on, there's going to be more information on who this team is, what we're best at. I think Eagles fans know we can run the rock with the best of them, if not one of the best teams as far as running the ball. I mean, you have one of the better running backs in the league, right? And then you add an offensive line. Well, you added one of the best running backs in the league, but you add an offensive line that's just dominant, and it looks like they have depth. I mean, I'll be honest, when Lane Johnson went down, I thought it was all over. I thought our game was over. I thought we were done. We weren't. So I mean, let's see what happens. I'm gonna keep my hopes up. I'm gonna keep my positivity up because I really do think that this team can turn a corner right now. I know that we're injured, and we'll see what happens with Devontae Smith. I haven't heard anything. If you guys have, please let me know. Like I said, I've been kind of all over the place this week again. But either way, I haven't heard anything about Devontae Smith. Obviously, Brenton Covey, we're not going to have him. But I think that it's time for Jahan Dotson to step up. I think that it's time for Dallas Goedert to really turn a corner and be that tight end that Eagles fans think he can be. And realistically, I think he should be. I think that he's a very good tight end. He can catch the ball. He can run after the catch. Even though he said that was the fastest he could run. I hope not. I hope you can run a little bit faster. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can't run that fast, but run a little bit faster maybe. I don't know. But either way, he's athletic. He can block. Like, you have all the tools. Dallas Goedert has all the tools. It's time for him to put it all together. Maybe this is now the time that he does it when our backs are really against the wall. Not having A.J. Brown has been... I don't want to say Smith is out this week. That sucks. Yeah, I was assuming that, but I didn't see anybody say it like officially, so I was hoping. But you look at A.J. Brown, man, and not having him is really opening up the field for not just the wide receivers, the playmakers, but Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts is now being asked to look all over the field, and that's good. That's a good thing. And right, we see the turnovers, and again, I'm going to keep on knocking on the turnovers. I want to see that cut down, but you see everything else, and I mean, he's playing very well. He's playing very, very well, so I can't be too mad at him. I know some people can, but it is what it is. I can't be too mad at him. All right, let's read some of these comments. What's going on, Antonio Holmes? Robert Hughes, what's going on? Let's get you a moderator. Good morning, Joe. That was a gut check win. Yeah, and sometimes you need those. Sometimes you need those. And I said it before, and it hurt when we did lose, but sometimes you need to lose. Sometimes you need to lose. Sometimes you need to win ugly to really get back on track. And I think that that's where the Eagles are right now. You got to figure out who you are. We're going to have to start using some of these young guys, right? We're going to have to start using Cooper DeJean now on punt return. We're going to have to start utilizing these young players. I'm expecting to see guys like Johnny Wilson getting some burn if he's all right. I'm expecting to see Paris Campbell get more burn. I'm expecting to see some of these. I mean, maybe they call John Ross up. I'm expecting these guys to actually get some burn and get some real playing time. And that could be good, that could be bad, but we're going to see. At the end of the day, once A.J. Brown comes back, I think this team will get on a roll. I think that offense will be that good. But not having them right now is allowing you to kind of figure out what else you do have, right? Like who else can play well for you? Who else can fill roles for you? So I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic. Right? I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that this team can figure it out without some of their top guys. They have been. Jalen Hurts has looked really good in spots. He's looked, bad in spots. He's looked like a rookie in spots, but he's looked really, really good in some spots. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's a wait and see game. That's really where we're at. Tebow says, after New Orleans, you have to feel like the Birds are starting to figure things out. You have to keep in mind you have new coordinators, and it takes time, but I feel like they are on pace. I agree. I think that when you look at that win, you have to feel a little bit better about your team. Is Nick Sirianni still going to make boneheaded decisions every now and then? Yeah, he is. Is Jalen Hurts going to make mistakes? Yeah, he is. Our guy's going to drop it. Things are going to happen, right? Bad things will always happen. But I feel like we can really trust this team and say, if we're down, we're not out. You know what I'm saying? If all the chips are down, we still have a shot. So that not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of teams can say that. Not a lot of teams can say that. I'm happy we can. Kataya's mom in the building. What's going on? What's going on? If we lose that game, which we could have, singing a different tune, he doesn't mess with Vic, and Vic saved his job. Explain that to me. Who don't mess with Vic? You're saying that Nick Sirianni don't mess with Vic Fangio? Shout out to what's going on, Linda? Shout out to the depth. Fred Johnson, Tyler Steen, Paris Campbell, and others. Next man up. Yeah, I thought it was over. I would be real with you. Once I saw Lane Johnson go down, and then you saw was it Landon Dickerson went down as well? Who's on the right? Why am I blanking? It was Landon Dickerson, right? I'm blanking on the other guy. Wow, this is bad. That's bad. Yeah, Mekhi Becton. I get a pass. He's new, right? Mekhi Becton. Okay, so once Mekhi Becton and Lane Johnson went down, I thought it was over. I really did think it was over. I was not looking forward to it. But, you know, they, like you said, next man up, they were able to go out there and do their job, so I love it. What's going on, Dashia James? Glad to see you, my brother. I'm glad to be seen. I'm glad to be seen. I appreciate you. Yeah, we back. We back, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I love doing these. Oh, Scoob, what's going on? This is a chance for Jalen to get comfortable with other. Exactly. And you need that. You need time to figure out what else you have, because on 3rd down and 10, you know, for the championship game, for the, you know, NFC championship game, they're probably going to try and lock down AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, right? They're probably going to try and lock those two down. So who else do you have? Grow some trust now with Jahan Dotson. Grow some trust right now with Dallas Goedert. And, you know, so when we're in those situations, we have a guy that we know, hey, you got to cover these 3 at least. Never mind, you know, us trying to be cute or something, or being in 4th down territory where we say, let's just hand it off to you know, Saquon Barkley. So that's what you need. You need to find that trust with other wide receivers, other players. And we're finding it, you know, we're finding it even on the offensive line now, kind of, and we'll see as the season goes, right? But now kind of feeling like, hey, we can trust Fred Johnson. We could trust, you know, we could trust Tyler Steen. You know, it feeling like that is very, very big going into the playoffs, into the later part of the season. Feeling like, hey, we can give this guy a little bit of rest because we trust the guy behind him. Or if somebody goes down, we trust the guy behind him, so we're not panicking, we're not shuffling, right? So I think that we're in a decent spot. You got to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Just keep going out there and finding ways to win. Keep getting better. I've said this last year. I've said this the year before that. The Eagles' mantra has always been 1%, right? Get 1% better every week. So that's what we got to do. We got to keep on, or 1% every day. 1% every week would be kind of slow. But 1% every day, you got to keep on getting better. Steen's technique is solid. I mean, was there ever any doubt? Even if he came in here and never played a snap of football, we've seen what Stoutland can do. Stoutland is no joke, man. Give him a couple weeks with a guy. I feel like if I went out there and worked with Stoutland for a week or two, I might be able to play a couple snaps. Real talk. I might be able to go like 2 or 3 snaps without giving up a sack. I might give up pressure. I'll be honest with you there. I might give up pressure, but I don't know if I might be able to not give up a sack. You know what I'm saying? Stoutland might be able to teach me a thing or two. I really do believe that. Stoutland is different. Stoutland is just different. He speaks their language. That's the most important thing. And that's what I think is important about Nick Sirianni, that a lot of people, you know, hey, I know people don't like Nick Sirianni. It is what it is. But he speaks the players' language. They understand him. They get him. They vibe with him. For lack of better terms, I have no other terms. Shout out to Black Gritty, because he always says that he goes by his vibe. So, you know, but they vibe with him, man. Corey Little says no. What's wrong, Corey? All these young guys and other guys having to step up and to me is a blessing in disguise. You're helping your depth down the road. Yeah, I mean, I don't like saying blessing in disguise. I was gonna say that. You know, so I was like, maybe that's a little bit. But I mean, yeah, it helps you down the road. It really does help you down the road. You want to know who you got, who you don't. Beef Jerky quietly having a season. Ever since those fumbles, I feel like that he's had a very, very good year. I really do. Shout out to Kataya's mom for that. I really do feel like ever since those fumbles, he's calmed down. He's gotten into the, you know, groove of things, and he's looked really good. I mean, he's getting to the second level. It's been impressive. It's been very, very impressive. So I'm excited to see what he can continue to do. I think Tampa will be a great test for our quarterback and also our depth. Yeah, I mean, Tampa has given us issues. We've been good during the regular season. Last year, we just ran it down their throats. So and I'll be at that game, but if DeAndre Swift can do what he did and no knock on DeAndre Swift, but if DeAndre Swift can do what he did to Tampa, do I have to say it? If DeAndre Swift can do what he did to Tampa last year, I don't think I have to say it, so I'm not going to say it. So I'm excited to see what Saquon going to do out there, man. I think that is going to be a good game. We take over that stadium. The only thing I will say, and obviously this is why I'm kind of running around, these past couple of days. We have a big storm coming into Tampa, into like the Clearwater, Tampa area. I think mainly Pinellas, but it's my area basically, but I live 25 minute drive from the stadium. So it's going to come Thursday. It should be good by Saturday. It should be good by like Saturday. So I don't think it'll affect the game Sunday. But if you have traveling plans, like I know my guy Gail, yeah, everybody knows Gail, bro. But I know my guy Gail, I was just talking to him. He says he's coming down on Thursday. So I'm hoping, safe travel for him and stuff, because it's going to be bad. It probably won't be as bad as they're saying, but they're saying it could be a Category 3. So we'll see if that has any effect on the game. If we got to run the ball, I'm not mad about that. You know what I'm saying? If the Eagles got to go out there and run the ball, I am not mad about that. Got to see the injury report. Yeah, I want to see what it all entails. Jeff Bone the Bonehead says, I want to see Dotson eat. I do too, man. As a Penn State fan, it's cool to have two Penn State guys on the team now, in big positions. So I want to see him go out there and ball out, and I think he has talent, and I think that it sucks that he didn't have more games with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, because now we're asking him to be that guy, kind of, you know what I'm saying, as far as the wide receivers go, especially this game. So it'll be interesting to see if he steps up. I think he has to. He has to. I can see him getting 5-6 targets this game, at least. Right? Unless we do, I think that we will be run heavy, but still, if Jalen Hurts throws the ball 20-25 times, who's he throwing it to? Dallas Goedert 20 times? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have to get it to Dotson. So it'll be interesting, especially not having Brenton Covey. That's a big loss, too. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. What happens. I think that we can win. At the end of the day, I think that, especially if this defense can, that's who is going to get tested. If the defense can go out there and play like they did last week, or even the first 3 weeks. They've been playing pretty well. They've given up some big plays. They've missed some big tackles, but they've been in position and they've been playing well. I want to see the edge rushers get better, right? You want to see Bryce Huff actually do some stuff. But if Jalen Carter is going to just be a monster all year, I don't think it really matters. I do want to go see us go get an edge rusher, or at least our edge rusher step it up. But again, if Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are going to be monsters in the middle, it's going to be a fun season to watch. I'll say that much. I want to know what's going on with Hassan Reddick. If he's still not playing, bro, holla at us. We'll give you a little bit of extra money. Just play the season out. You know what I'm saying? Keep your value high. Because if he sits out the whole year, nobody's going to... I don't want to say nobody's going to want him, but his value is going to diminish, in my opinion. If you don't play for a whole year, you're turning 30. You'll be 30 next year. I feel like your value is going to diminish. Come on down to Philly. Show that you still got that thing. You know what I'm saying? Come out to Philly. Show that you still a dog. Let's go win a Super Bowl. And then you go get your bag. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you extra 5 or 6 mil. Bruh, who says no? Come on. I'll go pick you up. Hassan, I'll go pick you up, man. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want to see. In 3 games, 68 yards, 1.6 yards per carry. Swift with the Bears chased the money, and whoa, he made the wrong choice for his career, but he got paid. Yeah, some people don't care about, I don't want to say care about winning. When you look on the surface of that team, it looked like it could have been something. Caleb Williams is just not doing well. I don't want to say he's not good yet, but a lot of the things that I was saying, I just don't think he has the mentality for the NFL. I really don't. I think that he's a little bit of a prima donna. So, it is what it is. I think that we'll see what happens. But you look at on the surface of things, you would think that team would be a little bit better, especially on offense. But I don't know. We'll see. Sucks to suck, I guess. It is what it is. Sucks to suck. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, Katai's vibe. Just like your Eagles. Just like my Eagles what? You would think what? I want to know. Alabama 04 forever? Coming on Twitch? I don't even have many people coming on Twitch. So you coming on Twitch to talk junk? That's not cool. Yeah, they suck. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, we got haters in the building. That's cute. Wentz mentality. It kind of looks like that. Again, I'm going to give him some time because sometimes, it's a rocky start and you got to get your footing and stuff like that. So I'll give him time. But he ain't going to get much time. I'll tell you that much. He ain't going to get that much time. I want to see it. I want to see it soon. You're on Twitch. Yeah, I be on Twitch sometimes. I'm on I play Madden. I'm not good at all. Trust me, I'm not good at Madden. Whoever that is will probably tell you. He's probably from one of our, our Madden leagues. I'm not good at Madden, but it's fun. I don't really care. I usually just get like little young teams and try to rebuild them and stuff like that in live leagues. So I have to stream it every now and then. So yeah, we're on Twitch at Philly TP. If you want to go over to the Twitch, I mean, shout out to Twitch. I don't really ever do anything on there though. I do suck at Madden, bro. I'm not, I'm not gonna sit here and hold you, but it's fun, you know. I do it for fun. I'm there for the fun of it. It is what it is, and it's community building. You know what I'm saying? How does that work? You approaching a player you traded? I don't know. I mean, you approached there. We have a decent relationship. I feel like the way that it ended with Hassan Reddick wasn't like horrible. I don't feel like the way everything ended was kind of how it was. I don't think it was how it was when Wentz left, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was like that. Because when Wentz left, it was like real tumultuous. I can't say it. It was bad. There we go. It's too early for me to use big words. But yeah, it was bad. With Hassan, it was like, all right, we can't give you that. We'll send you somewhere where they'll be able to give you that. You know, sorry it didn't work out type thing. I don't feel like it was, you know, a heated debate between us two. They wanted to go get their money. They felt like they could get it somewhere else, so they went. I think now, if anything, we could call their agent and be like, hey, bro, we tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to just come back? We'll give you a little bit of extra money so you good for the year, finish out your contract, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that it could work. I mean, that's up to the Jets. That's how, and obviously up to Howie Roseman too. How far would you go for Hassan Reddick back? I guess that's the question, right? My bad. I guess that's the question: is how far are you willing to go to get Hassan Reddick back? Would you give your pick back? Would you get, like, they gave you a second round or a third round pick, right? Would you give your third round pick back? Is that something you're willing to do? I don't know if I am. Maybe like a fifth. Would you take a fifth? I'll give you a fifth. I think that's fair. I think a fifth is very fair. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a great question. What would y'all be willing to give up? I guess that's the real, you know, because that's what it comes down to. What would you be willing to give up? Because when you look at the situation, it's one hand washes the other, both wash the face, right? You can help each other out here. You are not in a situation you're happy with. You want to get out of that situation. You want to get money. They don't look like they're trying to give you money, so you might as well keep your value high. Keep, you know what I'm saying, keep the league talking about you type of stuff. And then you go from there. I don't know. Maybe the guest that we got coming on will know a better answer, because I'm stumped. But we got my guy. And before we have him come on the other side of this, if you're listening on the radio, you're probably going to see a commercial right now. But obviously, if you're live, you're going to hear the special guest we got coming in real quick. We got my guy, Smitty. I do want to give a quick shout out to my guys over at The Gambler, Fox Sports, The Gambler, Philadelphia. Every Monday, I want y'all to go check it out, because if y'all like me, y'all love listening to Eagles players talk about the Eagles. And we have a show with Todd Harrimans and Trey Thomas, former Eagles, great offensive lineman. They'll be live at Chickies and Pete's every Monday at 7:30. They'll be live on the show. They'll be live on YouTube. So definitely go check that out. They usually do interact with people, so it's a lot of fun. But, you know, without further ado, let me get my guy on here. Smitty, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good?
What's good, brother? How you doing, man? So, all right, we gonna hop right in with a question right off the top, all right? They're asking, what would it take to get Hassan Reddick back in Philadelphia? What would you be willing to give up to get Hassan Reddick back in Philadelphia?
I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I'll give you a fifth, maybe a fourth if we kind of connected on the right pages. He willing to take, somewhere between, 17, 18 million for this remainder of the season type, so your money good. But I'm not giving you a third back. I'm sorry. You can't have that. That's mine. You came and bought the product. I'm keeping the third. I'll give you a fifth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all weren't able to come to an agreement, so I think that's the best ordeal, man. They don't want to pay him. Obviously, they lost. Didn't they lose a DN recently,
Yeah.
and they still didn't pay his fine?
And that's what's crazy about this whole situation is, like I said, again, it's one hand washes the other, both wash the face. You're in a situation right now that people are gonna forget your name. The NFL moves very, very quick. Hassan Reddick is a good player, but the NFL moves very, very quick. So you go a whole season without your name being called once, without your name talked about once, other than a contract holdout. It's hard for me to believe that NFL teams are going to be busting down your door to have you come to their team next year, especially at a high rate. You want more money. You don't want just a long-term contract. I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe he does just want 4 years or something like that. He just wants to, I know I'll be on a team for 4 years. I don't know. But it's a really weird situation. It's something I'm going to be talking about all season, or at least until he finally gets signed or something happens with the situation. But talk to me, Smitty. I know we got the Eagles just coming off of a big victory. The whole thought process of this live for me today was, I feel like this is a win that could really turn our season around, can really put us on the right track. How are you feeling about the win that we just came off of, and how do you think it could affect the rest of our season?
I think it was a gutsy win for real, Joe. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous just watching the game, just seeing how things was going. Jalen Hurts with the turnover, which we obviously all know needs to clean up. But like just down the stretch, man, Devontae Smith going out, them being able to really be able to be like, all right, we're gonna step in the place of Smitty. I think it might have brought the team a little closer together. Just watching how those guys rallied towards the end of that game. You know what? Darius Slay gave me an interesting stat this morning. So he pointed out every interception that Jalen threw, right? Uh, Jesse Bates, um, Jair Alexander, Xavier McKinney, Honey Badger. He was like, every player that's gotten a pick has been all Pro Bowl type player. Or they, at some point in their career have been top paid in their position. So I kind of heard that and I was like, well, maybe he just getting tricked a little bit early, trying to figure out a concept of a new offense. But I think going into Tampa, man, with that defense that they have being kind of beat up, I think we got an opportunity to pull some things off. I don't know, what's going to be going on with Smitty or AJ or Lane or any of those guys, but I think our young guys might be able to, step in those positions and make some pivotal plays down the stretch.
Yeah, they're coming off a loss. Who they lose to, the Broncos? I don't know how you
Yeah.
lose to the Broncos. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, NFL any week, right? Any given Sunday. But the Eagles have played well against the Tampa Bay Bucks during the regular season, so I do feel good about that. Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback. I think that it's time we just say that. That's a thing now. Baker Mayfield looked good all season. He looked good last year. He's been very efficient. He's not elite. I don't think he's one of those top 5 guys, but he's a very good quarterback. He can make things happen in the bit. And the Bucks have good offense. They got a good offense. They got a good defense. They got good players on both sides of the ball. I think it would be poetic justice if Devin White maybe got a snap or two. I think that would be interesting. But I mean, look, the
What
defense.
has he done to Fangio, man? That's my biggest question.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has. I'm trying not to say nothing too much about Fangio because the defense has every week, I feel like, gotten better. I feel like every single week you've seen them improve. Is there an area on the defense that you're still looking at? I mean, edge rushers are probably a easy one to point out, but is there a position group or player or anything that you're looking at that you're like, we need to make a change here?
Yeah, you said it. Edge is kind of the easy place. I think safety is gonna get better when we get Sidney Brown back. Um, Really, I think we're like covered. I think you just want to see more out of the position more than really need to make a change. I think Bryce Huff, if he stepped up, started getting sacks, we'd be okay at edge. If Jahan Dotson kind of set up on offense, we'd be okay at wide receiver 3. I think it's more production than player. You know what I mean? I think we have the room to compete with anybody. I think we're just not getting the production that we expect because we're Philadelphia Eagles, man. We got a high standard. We came off a 2022 record-setting season with 70 sacks. So when we're looking at a guy who you just paid, $17 million a year, he come in and it's week 3, he has 0 sacks. You kind of up in arms about it, but um, I think he'll improve. I think this is his first opportunity really being in this type of scheme. He's learning his way. He's kind of filling it out as a blind man. You're going into a season expecting one way, because how you ended, with the Jets, thinking you're going to come in and just kind of jump in and everything is going to be flawless, but it didn't. So I think, like, if anything, it probably would be the edge. Maybe we can. But I looked out and I'm like, I don't really see nobody unless Howie going to trade. Unless he going to spend some capital, I don't see a guy out there that's. I mean, I don't even think Yannick Ngakoue is, really the answer. We've been asking for him for 2 years. Howie obviously hasn't went and got him, so I'm assuming it's something Howie and his team see that don't make him an interesting prospect for the Eagles. So I think we need the production, and if we can get Hassan back, I think that could ease up a little bit of the pressure on Bryce Huff to play more freely. I think right now he's playing under the pressure, man. He's hearing it all. He's getting booed. He's seeing it on social media. Like, everybody is calling him out. He's probably just going out there overthinking it. Once he just freely gets out there and plays this football, I think he could step up.
Yeah, and Kataya's mom brings up a really good point. Says Vic doesn't want, because I can't talk. Vic doesn't want Hassan Reddick because he doesn't drop into coverage, which is very true. I mean, that is very true. That was something that I said last year, and I said that going into the offseason, that it probably would be a knock against him. But right now, I don't even know if I care. I honestly, just put his hand in the dirt, or just put him every single time he's out there, they can know that he's going to pass rush. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? If he becomes a specialist at this point, I want to win a Super Bowl. But I mean, that's 100%. Yeah, and Yannick did just sign with the Ravens, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, I want to win a Super Bowl. You're gonna have to go out there and get somebody, get something. I truly do believe that. I think Bryce Huff is all right.
Hold on, he just signed with the Ravens while we was on here.
No, I think he signed yesterday. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think he signed last night or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we need something. We need something. It's just I don't know. I really don't know. Defensively, they're getting better, so I can't talk too much junk. But once we go into another game and we have 0 sacks, I'm probably going to talk more junk. Now, another topic that has been hot. It's been a heated debate for at least 2 years, and you already know. But it's Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is, he's the face of this organization. So when they do bad, he's going to be the scapegoat. When they do well, he's probably still going to get a lot of hate. How are you feeling about Nick? Because personally, I'm okay with Nick Sirianni. I really don't mind Nick Sirianni. I don't mind his attitude, his personality, because the players don't mind it. If they were the ones yeah, this is kind of weird, then I would be all right, maybe he's not the guy for us. But if they're cool with it and they like it, I mean, you always hear about these players talking about the trust Nick shows in the players and how they love that. I think that means a lot, but I understand both sides of the coin. So how do you feel about Nick Sirianni? Are you in the boat of fire Nick Sirianni? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like Nick, man. I think the problem with the fan base is his inconsistency at times to be. Who said it? Chris Long said it. Maybe it was Chris Long. Maybe it was somebody else. They said you either gonna be Mike Tomlin or you're gonna be Jack Camp or you're gonna be Campbell. Like, it's his inconsistency when he wants to be gutsy. Like, it's a lot of times when we look back at the tape, me, you, any content creator, and we say, man, we should have went for it on 4th and 2. But then you'll follow it up, going forward on 4th and 3 or 4th and 1 and giving up points. So I think, for me, it's just I'm cool with Nick. I like the way he handles business. I like the way he asserts his emotions into the game. How he is, just how he stands. To me, he's a Philadelphia without being from there. He really embraces what it means to be in the Philly culture. He's gutsy. He has an attitude. He doesn't mind speaking his mind in a moment of passion. We've caught him a couple of times.
I think you just cut out for a second. I can't hear you. Try say something. Try to say something? Nah, yeah, you're muted. You went on mute, brother. I can't hear you. All right, while he figures that out, while he gets that going, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Nick Sirianni is going to be a hot topic all year. I feel like we're going to be talking about Nick Sirianni all year. Like I said, until something happens or something doesn't happen. I mean, that's where we are until we know where we stand with Nick Sirianni. But I'm cool with him. I like him. And I think everybody has that one thing they just want him to stop doing. Stop calling plays. Stop the sideline antics. I actually did a whole Twitter post, like a whole what's it called? The whole poll about what I want to see him doing. It was all over the place. Let's see if Smitty we hear him here. You can hear me, Smitty?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. There we go. We got you back.
Somebody called me. Look, what's funny is he watching the show and called me. Like, I'm using my phone. But nah, I'm cool with Nick, man. I like how he, how the players react to what he does. You know what I'm saying? I just think, the inconsistencies sometimes to just be gutsy. And some crucial moments have the fans a little bit up in arms. I think, like, people take it as a bad thing, but I like that he gets up there and takes the blame for a lot of the bull junk that goes on. Even if it isn't his problem, he goes up there and say, man, it was me. It was my call. I made it. It could have been Kellen. He wouldn't say it was Kellen, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate him as a coach, man. He has the success. He wins. I think the biggest blemish on his record is probably the one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, and you bring up a good point. When he takes blame, I think that's a huge asset. That's a huge personality trait that I like. I love that. I don't want a guy that's like, oh, well, this guy, that was all Kellen. Kellen's the one that said we should do that. And you're right. He takes the blame when he probably shouldn't sometimes. And I think that if more Eagles fans understood that and reflected on that, I think that they would like him more. But I think people just get so upset about the decisions, which is fair. And I did bring up that poll, and I want to bring up the actual stats because it was all over the place. And I want to ask you where you lie on this one as well. So I asked, what do you realistically want from Nick Sirianni? And the options were consistent aggression, less antics on the sideline.
I voted the first one.
Yeah,
I voted.
Just to be fired or to be safe every time. And the winner is to be fired. The people want him fired. 39%. 27%, it was a tie for consistent aggression and less antics on the sideline. And I think that is really where we fall. I think that those two is really where we fall. Stop being in the camera so much. Stop being the face, you know what I'm saying? That crazy guy on the sideline. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to see it because it looks stupid when you lose or it looks stupid when it doesn't work. So just don't do that because then we have to answer to it as fans and be more consistent, whether it's aggression or if you're going to be safe every single time. I've said that. I don't know if I probably heard it somewhere when I probably got it from somewhere, but I said that Monday on the show. I was like, you're either Mike Tomlin or you're Dan Campbell. You can't be in between. You can't just
it might have been you that said it.
I might have heard it somewhere else too. So I mean, it is what. But no, you can't straddle the line. You got to figure out who you're gonna be. And I've said this time and time again. We're going to accept it. We have to. As Eagles fans, we're gonna have to accept it, whether it works or not. And then in the offseason, we reevaluate. But if every week you're a different person, what are we evaluating? What are we taking into consideration? I don't know who you are. So I agree. Antonio says
I felt like the fourth down.
Go ahead.
I felt like the fourth down going for it was like an overcorrection of him not going for it the week before. Like, no, you don't have to overcorrect. Just do the right thing in the right moment. Like, you don't have to. Oh, everybody's saying you didn't go for it on fourth. Now I'm gonna go for it on 2-4. Like, no, like. Just understand the moment, understand the game, be privy to what's going on. Hey, look, offense isn't rolling well. We in the red zone twice. You take the points. You know what I mean? It's not a moment of like decisiveness. You just take the points. But in a point where it's like, look, if I get a first down, the game is over. Let's go for the first down and kill the game. Let's win it, and we don't get it. I'm a little bit more happy with what happened in the Atlanta game than I am with what happened in the Saints game, because the Saints game almost could have cost us really the game.
Yeah, I personally felt like The Saints game is more so what I think will look like for the rest of the year. I truly do. I feel like that decision making, that aggression, that's who we're gonna be. Because I think that Nick Sirianni's at the point that he has nothing to lose. I really do feel like that. Because in Philly,
Yeah, switch it. Yeah, flip it. My bad. I meant to say the Saints game is what I like more than what I've seen in the Atlanta game.
But
Because
yeah, I
him
mean,
not going for it on 4th and 3, like you kick the field goal, you get them a minute and 40 seconds, like,
yeah. And
and then
I
you
think
turn
I think
around
you
and
look
the
at Nick
next week.
Sirianni, you look at Philadelphia in general, and I forget who it was that said it. I think it was Dallas Goddard as well. That said, in Philadelphia they'll come for your head if they don't like the results. If they don't like your decision making, we're gonna come for your head. So it might have took him 3 years to kind of understand that and just be like, you know what, screw it then. If this is where we at, if y'all gonna hate whatever I do, no matter what, I'm just gonna do whatever I do. And I think that you're hearing it in the conferences. I think you're hearing it in the press conferences. You're hearing him just be like, all right, what are y'all gonna complain about now? Like after a while, it just becomes like draining, and you're like, I'm not gonna listen to y'all anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes to a point where it's like I don't care what y'all say because no matter what I do, I'm gonna be wrong, and he's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, we gotta face that as Eagles fans. We're gonna come for his neck no matter what. If it's not if because you said do what's right in the situation, and that's a very that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope saying do what's right in the situation. Analytically, it could say, hey, analytically, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Every time it's 4th and 2 or less, you go for it. That's what the analytics say. So is that right? If we don't get it, it doesn't feel like it's right. So it's a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? But last thing I want to talk about is obviously going into this next game, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Somebody told me we don't have Smitty. I haven't seen any injury report as of yet, but wouldn't doubt it. Not going to have Smitty, not going to have AJ most likely, not going to have Britton Covey. Who are you looking for on that offense to step up and hopefully carry this team to a win?
I don't know about carry, right? But I do need Jahan Dotson to come into a role. We did give up a good amount of assets for him. He did. I'll give him some flowers for the play he did make to get Dallas got it open. Obviously, him talk about it at the end of the game, saying like they ran it all week. He messed it up a few times, and when Jalen called it, he knew he had to do his job. Like just knowing that he was locked in enough to be like, hey, look, I gotta get this right here because the game on the line. Him getting it right kind of tells me he's gonna gain some of that trust, in Kellen, in Jalen. For him to do that twice. It wasn't even one time. Like people only paying attention to him doing it once. He did it before when Dallas Goddard made the one-hand catch. He also did it on that play. So it's like just watching him, progress through the offense. I think him, uh, obviously Dallas Goddard and Saquon gonna have to step into that role. And depending on if Johnny Wilson is up for it, I'm cool with Johnny coming in and he made one big play on 3rd down. So maybe he can get a decent role into the offense. But maybe Paris Campbell stays in kind of the same role he's in. I don't know if he needs to step up into a role. He's kind of the Zach Pascal of the past. We just need him to be consistent with the hands. So I think if Johnny Wilson and Jahan Dawson can pick up a bigger role, we could be in some good hands.
Yes, sir. I think it's going to be a big game, man. I'm here with Smitty. On Twitter, it's I am Smitty 373-4133, the podcast. Give me a score prediction, man. Leave me with a score prediction. Make me feel good about this game.
Score prediction. Give me 28-17.
28-17. I'll take that. I would definitely take that. But Smitty, I appreciate you coming on here, chopping it up with your boy for a minute, man. We'll definitely have to do this again. Is there anything you want to say before you get out of here, bro?
Nah, man. It's always go birds, fly, go fly, man.
Yes, sir. My man. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good night, man, or a good day.
Be safe, bro. Love.
That's my guy, Smitty, man. I appreciate him hopping on always. Good little talk. I'm excited for this game, man. I'm hoping I have power on Friday. That will be beautiful. If I have power on Friday, we definitely going live on Friday. I'll definitely be at the game on Sunday. So I'll probably bring the camera with me and we'll go live out there as well if you guys, might like that. I'm in the mode that the Eagles have everything they need to succeed in their grasp. They have everything they need. They have the players, they have the coaches, they have the scheme. The guys that are injured right now are going to come back. it's on the Eagles to go out there and execute. And I feel like we have everything laid out in front of us to have a great season. So I'm excited, and I hope that we go out there and blow the Buccaneers out. But I will be back Friday with another guest, and we'll have some fun then as well. Again, shout out to my guy Smitty for jumping on. And again, if you guys, want more Eagles content and you want Eagles content from some former Eagles, definitely shout out to my other job that I'm also working with, Fox Sports The Gambler Philadelphia, every Monday 7:30. Catch Todd Harrimans and Trey Thomas live at Chickies and Pete's. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you are. But other than that, it is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere. This is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for